Yeah, so the Yankees open up the series against the New York Mets. A rain-delayed series already, and by a nail-biter today by a score of 8-3. Note my sarcasm. Uh, what? I mean, blown opportunities. They were being no-hit into the sixth by Taijuan Walker. And at that point, the Mets were already leading by a significant margin. And I think it might have been 5-0 at that point, or 6-0. And Aaron Judge broke up the no-hitter with a home run, opposite field home run in the bottom of the sixth. And then Gio Urshela, they loaded the bases up after that. Gio Urshela hit a blue two-run single. But in terms of that, the rest of the lineup were completely lost. I didn't realize we had Butch Weiniger, Joel Skinner, Steve Sachs, and maybe Ken Phelps in the lineup. I thought we had Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, and guys like that. So, but I was wrong. But they got Stein. This is indicative of the Yankees. I mean, they looked at so many third strikes right down the middle today, and swung at third strikes that were 5 feet out of the zone. Okay, Miguel Andujar, one of them late in the game. I think it was at the bottom of the eighth inning. They had blown too many blown opportunities, and that was one of them. But it's indicative of this Yankee team. Horrifically impatient hitters. And if this is not a sign for management to do something and do something now, and get in some contact hitters here, some patient hitters. I mean, guys that are going to work counts, because they weren't doing that really that well either today. Even though Taijuan Walker had his pitch count up pretty high, there was no hitting this team through the sixth inning, and that should not be happening. I mean, they have the remarkable ability of making number 2 starters or number 3 starters look like Bob Gibson and Don Drysdale and Nolan Ryan. But this is the Yankees' MO this year, and it was embarrassing today, and they stunk up the joint. I'm really hoping that Garrett Cole, brightens the ship tomorrow, evens the series out tomorrow in the first game of their doubleheader, and then. The second game is I don't think the pitchings have been announced yet, but he's facing Marcus Stroman tomorrow. The Mets just out-hit the Yankees, they outclassed the Yankees, they outplayed the Yankees, manufacturing runs across the board, walks and base hits, things the Yankees should be doing but don't. And it's a damn shame. It really, really is. So, the Mets are I know the Mets are a good team, but they are a much better team than the Yankees are right now, and there's no denying that. And thank the heavens we don't have to face Jacob deGrom this series. Thank the heavens for that. But Taijuan Walker and Marcus Stroman is no walk in the park either, particularly since they're both playing sub-3 ERAs this year. They're pitching well. And, Taijuan Walker's, both of them the Yankees could have probably had. And this is where, the Yankees loaded up on unreliable arms, and the Mets loaded up on really pretty dependable arms. That's one of the differences they had this offseason. Mets loaded out. They did a lot of moves. They were very aggressive, but they brought in 3 starting pitchers, and none of which were. Some of them had a little bit of injury stuff with Taijuan Walker, but none of them are coming off of 2-year layoffs. Okay, like Kluber and Tyone and even Severino coming off Tommy John. Even though Noah Syndergaard is coming back from Tommy John, so he's kind of in the Luis Severino category, and he's had a setback, but he's due to be back at some point as well. But they still have Carlos Carrasco yet to be pitching it too, but what a jackpot the Mets hit with Taijuan Walker and Marcus Stroman. They really struck gold with those 2 guys. So kudos to the Mets for that. Out business in the Yankees. And speaking of business, the Yankees again, they should be on the phones working them right now. For these team talks, they're meaningless. Meaningless. The team isn't going to perform if it. Absolutely meaningless. So, I'm keeping it short and sweet today because it was just an all-in-all frustrating day. The Yankees should have played much better, and the others, the Mets should have won 14-3. The way that they're outclassing the Yankees, but the Mets also left a bunch of guys on base as well, but they scored 8 runs, so they were fine, and their pitching held the Yankees down. But then again, almost all the pitchers are holding the Yankees down right now because this lineup is so poorly constructed. I'm hoping Tim LeCastro lights a fire under it. Gives them a little bit of a spark, a little bit of speed, a little bit of hustle. Maybe he plays one of the games tomorrow. And but they should be sitting a bunch of these guys and giving young kids opportunities if they're not going to be trading for other players. In the meantime, let some guys send guys down to get it right, get their mechanics right, get their head right, and just call up some of those young guys who are raking, who are just chomping at the bit for an opportunity to come up to the Bronx and play. What are we waiting for here? And honestly, what are we waiting for? They shouldn't be losing this frequently, this way, and this embarrassingly. It's just what a wash, what an absolute wash. And I hate saying it as a Yankee fan, but what are we gonna do? Again, Judge continues to be a bright spot, and like I said, I mean, this is the time right now to trade Aaron Judge. Even though I hate it, it would be an unpopular move by a lot of people, but this is the time where you can extract the haul. His value is at an all-time high. Don't wait for the guy to either get hurt or go on a 0 for 26 slump to then say, we'll trade around him. Because after next season, he's going to get a $200 million deal from somebody. Okay, nobody's going to sign him for 4 years. It's not going to happen. Okay, if he's healthy, there's no way it's going to happen. Okay, the Yankees are far too many holes away for Aaron Judge to make that much of a difference. He's hitting these home runs and these bombs when the Yankees are down by 8. Not when the game is tied. Not when they're in a close, tight playoff race. He does that too, but again, there's so many holes that the Yankees need to fill. Aaron Judge is the one player who can extract an absolute haul. And again, would I hate to get rid of him? Yes. But unless he gets an extension from the team that acquires him, if they do, they could bring him back at the end of 2022 as well. So keep that in mind too, if that happens. So just a thought, but it would be a very smart business move right now for Hal Steinbrenner to contemplate this and consider actually doing this, because somebody will give up an absolute haul for him, and that's what the Yankees need. The Yankees need a haul. They need 2 hauls. Okay, they just need a damn U-Haul truck with players, consistent players, reliable players, players who hit the ball to all fields, contact hitters, people who steal bases, people who make routine plays, people who drive runners over. All these players they need. So when are they going to start doing it?